assets and arbitrage. We don't have a long show for you guys today, just a little bit of Bitcoin news, so everybody can kind of keep up with all of the momentum of Bitcoin at this exciting time right before the halving.
Yeah, so as we always say, be stacking your sats, of course, stacking your ounces and whatever else you may be into. Um, it's been a fun week for Bitcoiners, as you've seen that nice run up. We enjoyed it. It's nice to just sit there and watch that happen.
Hmm.
And we've been in it a while, so we've seen these run ups
These
before.
cycles.
Yeah, these cycles, but it was fun. It was a great week, and we're gonna go over some few articles we came across
Hmm.
and talk about some different news about things that may be going on with Bitcoin. If as
The news.
yeah, you might need to
He still hasn't taken profits and given me any money, y'all. So y'all get on him.
you need to chat up, I guess.
Boom, BK Crypto, email, love your stuff. So definitely email me back. Let's see if we can have a powwow because I would like to hear more about the educational crypto group, BK
Mm-hmm.
Crypto. So thank you so much
Yes,
for
indeed.
joining.
Yes, indeed.
Um, 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 um. So the first story is by Yahoo Finance. I did not put the links in there just because I forgot, but these are easily findable, as I like to say. So Yahoo Finance wrote a great story called "The Reason for the New Bitcoin Mania is Simply Not enough supply." So we do understand the idea of fear of missing out, or as you guys know it as FOMO. So they're saying there's a fundamental law in economics at play in the new market surrounding Bitcoin. Supply and demand. We understand that Bitcoin meets every single area of or characteristic or attribute of money, actual money, to its optimization.
Yes.
And we know that ultimate scarcity is one of the main components that makes Bitcoin absolutely attractive, and it outperforms every other asset or commodity on the market.
Yes, it does.
It says more Bitcoins are being bought on an average day than new coins are created. The big reason for this imbalance is the appetite created by a series of US listed Bitcoin exchange traded funds that were approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission in January and have attracted sizable amounts of new investor money over the last month. Since the beginning of February, those products have purchased an average of 3,500 to 4,300 coins each day, according to the three analysts who work for crypto money managers. That is considerably more than the 900 coins being created each day by the Bitcoin network over that same period. There's simply not enough Bitcoin to accommodate all the new demand, so natural supply demand dynamics are driving prices higher. So you guys are actually living economic one supply demand dynamics. Okay, so this is a great way too for people to not only learn economics,
Mhm.
some of the components of it, but actually living it
Yeah,
and
actually,
engaging in it helps to
yeah.
kind of propel you along. Go ahead, babe.
The actual experience of going through this. I know I talk to people. This is sometimes their first bull run or cycle of Bitcoin running up, and so it's very exciting,
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that you do have to understand, and with the halving coming along, just get less and less Bitcoin every day from the
Absolutely.
miners. So
So the demand is going to drive higher and higher as everybody scrambles
yeah,
for what's available. So Bitcoin zoomed past 63,000 on Thursday, putting it within striking distance of its all-time high of nearly 69,000, which we reached joyfully in November of 2021. It's been changing hands at about 62,220 early Friday. Friday, it closed out February with gains of 44%, its best monthly performance since December of 2020. Let's talk about the halving a little bit. So there could be more supply problems to come due to the halving that's scheduled to take place in 2 months. When it was created in '09, It was programmed with a fixed supply schedule that's cut in half every 4 years. After the next cut, the so-called halving, the daily supply of new coins will be 450 instead of 900.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely going to push prices. It's going to surge prices much
Yeah.
higher. We're potentially in the sweetest spot right here. Mark Connors, head of research for crypto asset manager 3IQ, told Yahoo Finance, we cannot produce more Bitcoin to meet demand. Now, that's one of the things we like about Bitcoin. It's not like cash. They just have this magical printer that just keeps printing and printing and printing and printing and printing, ultimately making your fiat worthless.
And even with precious metals, they can put more money into mining to try to have more output of these precious metals. So there's not ultimate scarcity, but they are scarce.
Yeah, and right now, didn't you say that they're not mining enough? They're not mining enough to meet the demand of the market?
Yeah, silver is not mining enough. So they're getting, I mean, they're not ultimate scarcity, but they're getting close. They have problems because of the demand from solar panels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Other electronics, M1
yeah,
processors, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, they have it. So it's high demand for silver, and also silver mines are having problems with some people who what would you say?
The environment, so kind of
Yeah,
like a OSHA kind of thing,
yeah.
the hazard within the environment, the hazard within mining the precious metals and the secondary metals that come out of that market as well.
So they're having problems over there with that, and then they're having problems. I haven't spoken on this, but it's a great documentary. They're having problems in Peru. Having problems in Peru with people stealing the metals that were mined.
What, the people who are mining it are the ones, like, who has access to steal it?
Well, I mean, they call them the cartel, but yes, the cartel. So they have to bring in the military to protect
What they're mining?
the miners while they're mining.
Oh,
Well,
gotcha.
you got those people who were trying to steal what is mined, and so it's a lot of problems with silver mining, but it's a lot of problems. So, but yeah, let's get to it. Let's make it. I don't want to breeze over this. You said it's up 44% in February.
Yes, and that is the best performance since the summer of 2020.
So if you were going to invest in something, what's really up 44% in 1 month?
Nothing.
I mean, I know a
What's
lot.
up 44% in a year? What commodities up 44% within a
Right.
12-month period or an
Exactly.
18-month period?
Exactly. And that's, people like the FANG stocks, people like oil, even gold and silver, can't keep up with that. And, I don't even know about any altcoins that might be up 44% a month. There may be some, but, you always have to be careful dealing with those.
It said, how many hours would y'all say it took each of you to realize Bitcoin's the asset to have? It didn't take us very many hours. It took us a while to figure it out because of how early we became involved, and I should say how early he became involved in it. It was more of just figuring out what this is and how can we utilize it and where is it going to go.
And also how to secure it. That was always big deal. How to secure it because people, stuff was getting hacked and it's still in. So once you figured out how to secure it, then you felt more comfortable pouring more money into it.
But we do want to welcome some people into the room. Shiny Goodra, of course, our boy Jake, our content cousin Jake Fever. What up, what
Jake,
up, what up?
what's up?
Steady Stacking, that was who asked that great question. And Let Freedom Ring. Hi, fam. Thank you so much for
Family,
joining
that freedom
us.
ring, yeah.
We're going to get back to the halving. So they're saying that because of the halving that's going to be happening next month, instead of 900 coins, we're going to be getting 400 coins a day moving forward.
450 or 400?
I'm sorry, 450.
Yeah, 450.
And that's going to surge prices. It's going to push them much higher. So, quote, we are potentially in the sweet spot right here, says Mark Connors, head of research and for crypto asset manager 3IQ. We can't produce more Bitcoin to meet demand. So Connor's firm has mid to high range price targets for Bitcoin this year, between 160 and 180,000. Next year, because of the halving, it anticipates an eye-popping target of 350 to 450,000 per coin. Now, keep in mind, these are speculative. It's
Yes.
forecasting. No one can actually know the actual number, but we do understand economics 101 due to the mania that's happening now and the demand for a very fixed supply. It is going to surge the price.
And remember, for my people out there who do technical analysis, if Bitcoin is able to break that ceiling of its all-time high, then it could just run because there's no top on the chart. If you understand what I'm saying. So that's the thing we got to look for. And once it's getting to that all-time high, we need to see if it's going to pop through or if it gets rejected, right? Because it is resistance right now. And if it can break through, it will turn into support. So that's something we definitely want to keep our eye on, that all-time high rate around 69,000.
Another golden nugget I think you guys would be interested in hearing is that the US government currently holds 215,000 Bitcoin.
Hmm.
So times that by 62,000 and you have a whole bunch of money. Now keep in mind, this is the US government that wants to shove CBDCs down your. Yet, look at how much Bitcoin they're, oh, pause, right? This is how much Bitcoin they're currently holding. This is according to blockchain analytics platform Arkham Intelligence, a stash that includes confiscations in various seizures, such as from 2016 hack of crypto exchange Bitfinex. So the fact that they're just being held and not sold currently is also constraining the supply, right? So there's 215,000 Bitcoin we don't have access to.
Yep.
In addition to, did they say it's 3 million that will never be?
Yeah, they say it's 3 million that are lost, and there's probably more being lost time over time if people don't uh, have their wallets passed on to someone else because they'll just be gone.
Now, they are saying that this could change because the government may need to distribute some of that to victims, which may mean selling. So that number is going to fluctuate. I don't think a lot. I think just a little bit. If they can figure out a way to hold on to it, they will, because they will absolutely benefit from the profit that comes with holding it. Another big buyer at the moment is MicroStrategy. For those of you who know, that is the incomparable Michael Saylor, who announced Monday morning that it acquired an additional 3,000 Bitcoin. That brought its total investment to 103,90,000 Bitcoin, which is valued at over 1.8 billion as of Wednesday. Now that's interesting, right? Because it looks like the federal government has just a few more Bitcoin on top of that. So it looks like the federal government is holding a little bit over, I'm gonna say maybe about almost 12 billion. He's 11.8. It's just a few more Bitcoin, so almost 12 billion in a sense. It's probably like maybe
Yeah,
two or 300 more thousand or
and,
so.
and Michael Saylor is a visionary. You see, he started this early. He was willing to put his company,
On the line.
on the line to buy Bitcoin to be a Treasury Reserve asset, and he looks like a genius now, and rightfully so.
Absolutely.
Rightfully
So
so.
it says here, as the asset price rises, many institutional buyers are absolutely going to need to take profits to maintain the balance of their portfolios. And that's also going to change the supplements. These are also certainly less fundamental, more psychological factors driving this new rally, including the fear of missing out. So we talked about that in the beginning of the article. It's certainly a representation of the risk appetite, says Sam Stovall, Chief Investment Strategist for CFRA Research. The ETFs have made the ability to hold Bitcoin much easier, particularly for investors that are not tech savvy, right? So it allows them to have exposure to it
Yep.
without needing to have the understanding of its technological features and all of the components that come with it. It does change the fundamental underlying fact, doesn't generate a return, so it's pure speculative demand. I don't know why they ended it like that, but all in all, Bitcoin's up 45%. It is outperforming every asset, every commodity on the market. Banks are buying up the Bitcoins.
You going to the BlackRock one?
It's gonna mention it, yes.
It's just okay.
The price of Bitcoin is close to its all-time high, thanks in part to the U.S. finance giants. Investment firms like Grayscale, BlackRock, and Fidelity, they're pouring billions of dollars into buying the volatile digital asset. In 2 weeks, these powerful institutions have become Bitcoin whales. Because of Bitcoin's system, there will only ever be 21 million. We know that. 19 million had been created, but many are accounted for and probably off the market. I just want to, they talk about the loss forever. So 8,000 Bitcoins lost ever. Binance is the world's largest exchange and estimates to have 550,000 Bitcoin, followed by Bitfinex, 403,000. Coinbase has 386,000. Robinhood has 146,000, and OKX has 126,000. In total, it is thought that exchanges hold about 11% of all Bitcoin. So those are really, really big numbers to only hold a little bit over 10%. We tell you, never leave your coins on an exchange. It's saying this in this article. Yeah. Leaving your coins on an exchange can go wrong, though. For example, with the collapse of FTX, it left a lot of customers without access to their coins. Some Bitcoin purists are also uneasy about a reliance on a large and increasingly regulated, legally compliant exchanges, which goes against the anti-establishment ethos of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and we did a couple shows with a cousin, right? Mm-hmm. About the wallets.
Oh yeah. Okay, Crypt work. Yep.
Crypt work. We did a couple shows about the wallets to let you know, never leave them on the exchange.
And if you have questions about wallets, Crypt work, aka KW1, she's more than happy to walk you through it. Just reach out to us, and we will get you in touch with her. So for those of you who keep hearing the term Bitcoin whales or a whale in crypto, and you don't really know what that is and you're too scared to ask what it means, a whale is someone who holds more than 10,000 Bitcoin in their digital wallets. Okay. The website Charts uses public blockchain records to keep a Bitcoin rich list of the 100 richest wallets. And there are about 80 wallets with 10,000 or more coin whose owners are unknown. Owning one of these wallets would make you an absolute billionaire. Some of them might be the wallets of people or organizations which appear elsewhere in the graph, but we'll never know. So for those of you who didn't know what that was, I just wanted to show you what a Bitcoin whale was. In January, U.S. financial authorities allow regulated investment firms to start selling new financial products linked to Bitcoin. So giving people exposure to it, called spot Bitcoin ETFs. Many of you are aware of this. In mid-February, the investment giants that applied to start ETFs began buying Bitcoins in their thousands, as everything from hedge funds to stock market traders purchase ETFs to bet on the price of Bitcoin without having to own the coin themselves. They simply wanted exposure. According to K33 Research, 900,000 coins had already been allocated or purchased by the 29th of February and are currently being held by the institution for these new financial products. K33 analysts think that the biggest holder is Grayscale. And we saw another article. I have to find it. I think it's on the phone, though.
Yeah, Grayscale.
So the biggest holder is Grayscale, which started as a digital currency investment firm. It's estimated to have around 450,000 Bitcoin. Other giants include BlackRock and Fidelity. So just notice how you get all of that hubbubalub about Bitcoin being for criminals and Bitcoin this and it's nothing and it's internet money. And then the minute they figured out a way that they can make money on it, look how much of it that they're holding. So now, granted, it does kind of work in because it's driving the price up, it's surging the price.
Maybe it is for criminals.
But maybe it is for criminals, right? All right. So it says these financial giants now hold about 4.5% of all coins. One wonders what Satoshi Nakamoto would actually think if and when the banks overtake him or her. So that is interesting.
Yes, it is. People.
BK Crypto said 900 Bitcoin are mined in a day, and the institution are buying like 10,000 a day. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Demand's about to go nuts, and the Arabs with their oil money, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook will all have to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and that's absolutely
This is
correct.
correct.
It's what Simon talks about all the time as game theory.
It's game theory acting out because Michael Saylor started that, put it on his balance sheet as a Treasury Reserve asset. Uh, these other CEOs are going to have to take notice of that and think about what they have to do to put it on their balance sheet.
Well, here's something interesting. So, police forces around the world regularly bust cybercrime gangs or illicit marketplaces, seizing huge stashes of Bitcoin in the process. There have been 3 major seizures of Bitcoin by the U.S. since 2020. Eventually, they'll be sold at auction, but according to research from 21.co, the funds have remained in their respective crypto wallets and not moved. So, there are nearly 200,000 Bitcoin held from busts. Arkham Intelligence has also linked a Bitcoin wallet address containing another 30,000 coins to the U.S. takedown of the the darknet marketplace Silk Road. I said dragnet, y'all. I'm showing my age. The UK is thought to hold 1,000 Bitcoin from a major seizure in 2018, and it's thought that German police still have 50,000 coins from a recent operation. We know MicroStrategy has 193,000 coins. In 2020, the CEO of crypto software makers Block One tweeted that his company has continued buying Bitcoin after an initial purchase of 140,000. So the true figure is likely to be much higher. The firm did not respond to the article's email. Winklevoss twins. It's not known for sure how many Bitcoins the crypto entrepreneur brothers own now, but in an interview in 2017 with the New York Times, the Winklevoss twins revealed that they had around 70,000 and they are not selling any at the time. Are you familiar with Tim Draper?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So U.S. venture capitalist investor Tim Draper made headlines in 2014 when he bought 30,000 Bitcoins that had been seized by the police from Silk Road and auctioned by the U.S. government. At the time, the coins cost him $17 million, although he doesn't declare how many coins he owns now. He told crypto website Protos in 2022 that he hasn't sold any and is continuing to buy. Any other? I think that's all for that. All I have to do is read this. Bitcoin dips to start March after climbing 45% in February. There's no need for me to continue in the article. Just understand that when you're talking to people, if they're asking you how the asset is performing, it is outperforming every asset, every commodity on the market in huge leaps and bounds. The last part of our news for today is a very interesting headline pinned by the market. I see it as all the disrespect, but maybe he's laughing all the way to the bank. But we came across Market Insider's Business Insider's article stating El Salvador's millennial crypto-loving president says that the country's Bitcoin holdings are up more than 40%. Well, we know it's up more than 44%. It's really 45. But just the way, like, journalists are very particular in the words that they choose.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, the fact that they're calling him a millennial is a way where, they're like, oh, you're such a Gen Zer. Oh, I can tell you're a millennial. So the fact that
because that's disrespectful because he is the president of a nation.
Yes.
He's not
right. The millennial crypto loving president. It's like you millennial McDonald's loving.
Right. And he deserves more respect.
I think so. Especially in a journalistic article as big as the Market Insider. Okay. I don't need to read much to you. We already know what's up. But President Bukele wrote in a post on Twitter or X that the media really cued the country's sizable investment in the world's largest cryptocurrency. However, it surged more than 38% to start 2024. We know that's 44, 45% right now.
Mhm.
If we were to sell, we would make a profit of over 40% just from the market purchases. Our main source of Bitcoin is now our citizenship program, referring to the country's expedited citizenship offering for foreign Bitcoin investors. Reuters reported in December that foreigners who contributed Bitcoin donations to the government programs are eligible. What do y'all think about how disrespectfully this article even starts out? So it's really good news, right? Don't get me wrong. The guy was right. All of the chips were down against him. He was right. And in his rightness,
And it's right.
y'all insult him. Like, where they do that at? Okay, there goes Crip Work. Hi, KW1. If you know, you
KW.
know. I'm a millennial, and I love that my Bitcoin is up. Millennials for the win. Thank you for joining us. If you know, you know. I understand that, but he is a president of a nation, and you would have never written an article like that about, I don't think, any other president.
Right.
Like, our current sitting president hasn't done shit for the economy of the United States, and they still wouldn't write an article titled that way
Yeah.
to discuss something that he's done, and was right, you know. So you also have to understand too, El Salvador, I don't know, I would have to look up their category at the time, if they were a developing nation, if they're considered a third world nation, if they're a frontier nation. That I'm not really sure of. I would actually have to look it up. But you know, the fact that he's little by little pulling his entire country out of poverty.
And he got rid of that crime where El Salvador was always seen as a very dangerous nation. And he just was at CPAC and he said, went from, the most dangerous nation in the world to the safest nation in the Western Hemisphere.
Who is also in the green, is one of the only nations right now who are actually in profit. They're in the black, they're not in the red. I mean, even the US cannot say that they are in the black as far as economical profit.
And if you go to El Salvador, now I recommend people take that trip if you have the time and the ability. It's a beautiful country, great weather, sunshine, beaches, the people are nice. So there's a lot of positives about El Salvador now,
Yes.
and they're offering that visa, so you're bringing in big money,
Mm-hmm.
and big money's coming in.
Capital. And you're in an egregore with other like-minded Bitcoin profile psychologies at work, right? And when we talk about the law of attraction and all of those other factors that come into play where like attracts like and so on and so forth, it's a great environment to put yourself into so that you too can gain some really good outcomes.
Yes, indeed, I really agree with that. And you don't have to, and we talk about this, there's different ways to like live abroad and plant flags. You don't have to live in a place like El Salvador for 12 months a year. You just might have a condo down there and go down during the winter time and take, like she said, advantage of that egregore. And you come back to everything that you built in the United States. People try to tell you this is, from what I hear, un-American, unpatriotic to go to a place like El Salvador, but you have, this is the arbitrage. You can't, you have to do what's best. Go where you're treated best, right? Isn't that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
Go where you're treated best. They treat you very well over there.
And the people who tell you that, when you look back into history, how do you think colonizers colonized? They leave their home country to go see what they can go take over, what works better for them, what's a better environment than their home environment. So don't let somebody who does this tell you, no, 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 you don't do that. Only we do that. You know, let's come away from that. We are absolutely working on a project for you guys that we're trying to publish towards the end of April. It is expanding on the five flag theory so that we can talk about your life experiences shouldn't be confined to one basket, one geographical basket either,
Yes.
right? You should be able to travel the world and figure out different places where, like we said, you can plant a flag and have very specific outcomes for you and your legacies.
Yes, indeed. Who else we got in there?
Let Freedom Ring said the money changers don't like what he's doing in El Salvador. If you know, you know, said they don't respect him. Throwing in that he's a millennial, crypto loving millennial.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like he
right.
eats too much McDonald's or something,
Hey,
right?
hey, hey.
It's
Like
just
that
another
system.
jab. Most media sees us as irresponsible and complainers.
Mm-hmm.
And you also got to know, who programs the media, right? We know that the media in the U.S. is a propaganda machine, and we got to fight through a lot of the poor narratives, poor propaganda that they try to force on us. We didn't have a lot for you guys today. It's Saturday. Hopefully, it's beautiful where you are. It's very hot here. You guys see, I'm like chugging ice water down by the liter. But we wanted to bring you guys a bit of Bitcoin news.
Yeah.
um, the way that some of the journalists have written the articles and some of the interesting points about the very people who told you Bitcoin is bad. They hold the lion's share of it. Your Grayscale, your BlackRock, who also hold the lion's share of real estate portfolio holdings. What they are initially trying to do, and this is where orange pilling as many people as we possibly can comes in, is they're trying to buy all of it so we don't have access to it. They are trying to find ways to remove the arbitrage from you. They are trying to halt this wealth transfer.
Yeah, they are. You seen how it ran up this week. That's people just making money without even having to do anything, and they don't like that.
Right.
And she said, they have a projection of what, 100? You said 160,000
For what?
for a Bitcoin price,
Yes. 160 to 180 towards the end of the year.
right? And so that's another what, 50? No, I can't do the math.
It's 62.
62.
So it's over 100% because that would take it
Oh,
to
because it was double.
120 or over
Yeah.
120, but we're talking 160 to 180.
Okay.
So we're talking maybe 130%.
And people are and a lot of people are buying, just regular people, just average Joes on the street, like us. We just, you get by. That's why I say
But
dollar
what it's
cost
doing,
average,
and yeah,
dollar cost average, and just keep getting. You're on a thing like Bitcoin's a, he says 33 ways to get Bitcoin for free per se. And like we told you about the S miles,
mm-hmm.
go out there, get your steps and get your sats. The jump out girls told you way back about fold. Go spin the wheel, use the card, and get your rewards back in sats,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth. Lolly and all these other places get sats. Just get your sats. Just get them. Just collect sats, um, along with buying and dollar cost averaging.
But what you're also wanting to understand is their psychology and the angle they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
If the average person has Bitcoin and a significant amount, right? Maybe they're not whales, but if you're halfway towards a whole coin or something like that, you have now put power back into your purchasing power, where they want you to have less power in your purchasing power. Because the more power you have in your purchasing power, the less you have to work. And the less you have to work is the less economic time and labor they're able to steal from you, right? And when that happens collectively, it really puts a kibosh in their wheel of in their wheel of slavery, in a sense, right? This whole thing runs on labor, it runs on sacrifice, right? I know we look at entertainment and all the sacrifice and stuff like that. It's even bigger than that. When you get up and you go to work 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, the firefighters in Cincinnati, their pay period is a 96-hour pay period. It's not an 80-hour pay period,
Yep.
right? You're talking about economic labor. There's a siphoning of that. And when we keep easing and easing and easing and easing away the amount of value you're able to get when you trade the money in for products and services, it requires more labor in order to keep up. if you have Bitcoin, if you have these precious metals, if you're amassing a nice, decent portfolio, that's less you have to work. You're teaching your children to work less. This is why the legacy part is expensive. I mean, is crucial, right? It's not expensive, it's crucial.
Yeah.
You're teaching your children they don't have to work as hard and that their time cannot be stolen the way they want to steal it. And that is what they're trying to prevent. That's what they're trying to stop. We did a show several shows ago now where we talked about 1% stealing $50 trillion from the 99%.
Mhm.
And it is not by happenstance. It is a very methodical, strategic design that they incorporate into everyone's everyday life in order for them to stay on top and for you to get your neck stepped on.
Yeah, and if you go, this is a way to look at it. Shout out to Robert Breedlove. He did a story on time theft. If you just took the US dollar chart, and you overlay it with the New York Stock Exchange chart, you'll see how the stock exchange go up and dollar goes down. And that's exactly what she's talking about. They're stealing your time. That is time theft because you now have to pay more dollars just to get, say you just wanted to get into an index fund, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as the index fund cost goes up, while your dollar goes down, still in time. Now you have to work more hours to get the same amount of the index fund that you could have gotten there. So that's time theft, and
Or
that's short. That's a short version.
right, or you have to work more time to get the same amount of groceries, or you have to work more time to get the same amount of electricity, or you have to work more time to get the same amount of gas for your car, or you have to work more time to get the same amount of whatever the expense is, right? I've been seeing all over Facebook, and I'm not sure why, Netflix for some people went up to $26. Netflix used to be $7.99, right? The streaming service hasn't changed. You have access to what you have access to. As a matter of fact, it changed in a way where you used to be able to access Marvel and all of those other things, and then they went and got their own platforms. So why is Netflix $26?
Mhm.
For them to give you something virtual that you cannot keep. And they keep baby stepping you guys to paying for things where you don't have the tangible thing in
Yeah.
exchange,
Mhm.
right? So Netflix, it's not like when you used to go and buy a DVD, right? This is my DVD. I have a whole collection of DVDs. Or when I used to buy CDs, Spotify, you have all of the access to music and then you really have none. If you paid for Spotify 12, I think it's $13, $12.99, I think I paid, for a whole year, right? So 12 times 12 is 144 plus dollars. And for whatever reason, I decide not to pay anymore. I gave them $144. I don't own a damn song. I don't own one tune, right? It's just gone. You have access to it, but you don't have it.
Yeah.
And those are some of the things we want to keep our eye on too, because they keep finding ways to offer you something without your ability to keep it. You have access to it, but you pour in hundreds and thousands of dollars and then realize it's not yours. You don't own anything and you're happy. And they're already baby stepping you towards that concept so that you get used to it. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, you'll own nothing and be happy. Who said that?
Klaus Schwab,
Yes, it
president
did.
of the World Economic
Yes, it
Forum.
did.
If you know, wants to know if your tequila is comparable to Fortaleza. I'm not familiar with
Let
Fortaleza.
me read it.
He
What's
wants to
this?
know if the tequila that we're making is comparable to Fortaleza. Are
Uh,
you familiar with Fortaleza? Have you
no,
ever?
I am not.
We've never had Fortaleza. If you know, So I'm not sure if it's comparable. If you ask me about another more known brand, we can probably answer yes or no. But
Yeah, we're trying to make it kind of comparable to Hornitos, if
yeah,
you're familiar with
that's ours.
Hornitos. Plata. Hornitos Plata.
Let Freedom Ring said that they're looking forward to the one sat to $1 parity.
There we go.
So I mean, slow and steady, we're headed there. To be honest,
That's why every sat you collect is
is
important.
crucial.
If you're walking, you collect, 5 sats a day, you hear that? Spin the wheel and fold, you get 50 sats. Yes, that's big. Just collect them. Collect them. They collect.
Collect them all
Yeah,
like Pokemon.
collect them. And then when it's time, you got them. You got them.
But we're not going to keep you guys on your phone on this beautiful, sunny, warm Saturday. I'm not sure if it's, um, you know how winter in America is. It doesn't know if it want to be winter or summer in these kind of months. So hoping that you guys have great weather.
Yeah, springtime. Did we read all the comments?
I
I
did.
just already checked. Okay. Well, that's what it is. We got some pretty good shows coming up, and like we said, we got our new series.
That we're publishing for you guys. We've been working on it.
Yeah, so we got the Tequila Tuesdays. What's the Thursday show you called it?
So it's Tequila Tuesdays. I thought we would do like a book Thursdays, but I don't know if you guys like the books that much. Like when we do the wealth mindsets and kind of trying to get better outcomes. I'm not sure. We're just looking at views. We don't have any information go on. A lot of you absolutely love it, and you tell us that. But when we look at the views, we notice that certain views are higher than other views. So we're really trying to give you what you absolutely asked for.
Yeah, we're gonna go over a book by Lynn Alden
Called Broken Money.
Broken Money. She's a macroeconomist, and it's very, very it's intense. It's like yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over it. We'll
Yeah.
definitely do a show on it so that you guys can hear about it and go get the book yourself. BK Crypto. So, your content cousin, BK Crypto, has a great swag line. I took the Simon and I sat and we went through his website. Absolutely great swag on there. We're going to try to grab as much stuff as we can. But we do want you, as his content cousins, to go ahead and support him. On the next show, I'm going to make sure the link is in the drop down so that you guys can peruse the site for yourselves. Also, they have a educational crypto group. So we're going to be linking up with BK Crypto to get more information. I don't know if I'll be able to talk BK Crypto into coming on the show and talking to his content cousins about their crypto education. I think it would be great for the community if BK Crypto would do that. But we'll work out the details for you guys. Definitely grab you some swag in this time. Be proud that you're an orange pillar. Get the shirt with the big B on it or, whatever it is you like. But I will make sure that on the next show in the drop down, BK Crypto's swag gear will be available for you guys to check out and to support. Courtney, Atlanta Black Wall Street. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Hello, hello.
We love y'all. We are here to support y'all in any way we can. You just have to email us and tell us how. But we will be catching up with you on Tuesday.
That's it.
Mamba out.